This is NewsBreak26 in Southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Here's what's happening in our part of the world. At a council meeting on Monday night, St. Andrews Town Council gave local developer Compass Housing the green light to proceed with the construction of an affordable 42-unit housing project on Mowat Drive at the former location of the Blue Moon Motel. The building, which will be called the Compass, will include 36 two-bedroom units and 6 one-bedroom units ranging in price from $800 to $1,200 per month. The town will also provide a $500,000 development grant to Compass Housing to ensure these rental rates are locked in place for the next 15 years.
For people that are struggling in our community, there is a reason to be excited now. More rentals are on the way in St. Andrews. And people, whether you be a senior that's having trouble living here, whether you be someone on an income, on a seasonal job downtown and maybe the service industry, or whether you be a single parent that is finding it hard to continue to take your kids to Vincent Massey Elementary School, the cost of housing, there's a reason to be optimistic and hopeful that things will change in the future.
Compass Housing has a track record of successful local housing units, including the 37-unit Anchors Landing building in St. Andrews and the Beacon, a 50-unit St. Stephen building. If all goes according to plan, shovels will be in the ground in 2023, potentially as early as spring.
We want to give people the ability to do basic banking here.
Grand Mananers residents Mike Monroe and Lauren Martin are working to open a credit union on the island. Scotiabank closed the doors to Grand Mananers' only bank last August, leaving islanders with an approximately 8-hour round trip to the mainland to get to the closest bank. Monroe and Martin are proposing a joint credit union and health center to take over the former Scotiabank location. A credit union is essentially a financial cooperative owned and operated by its members. They presented the proposal to Grand Mananers Village Council during the regular January meeting.
With the amount of businesses and the amount of people on this island, several people and myself were talking that we could pull something together and come up with a local solution because there's enough businesses here to make something work. So I went to one of those, for the first time in my life, one of those political events. I went and the Premier was having a dinner, bought a very expensive dinner plate and cornered the Premier and talked his ear off about Grand Mananers and the fact that we're struggling to go away for healthcare services, and we now just lost a financial institution. And thinking he would give me the old shake and brush me off, the next thing he did is grab his chief of staff and set up a meeting.
Monroe and Martin, who currently own and operate the island's only pharmacy, are aiming for the proposed credit union to have an ATM, personal and retail banking, and eventually even be able to provide small loans. A recently established Facebook group called Help Form a Grand Mananers Credit Union already has 700 members, a healthy early showing of support considering the island has just 2,400 residents. With enough support on their side, the next step for Monroe and Martin will be to fulfill the requirements of the Credit Union Act to obtain government approval. Finally, after a hiatus during the COVID-19 pandemic, the Winter Warmer Festival is returning to St. Andrews from January 27th to 29th.
One of the feature events this year is we are going to celebrate the albums that were created at Salty Towers. So on the Saturday night of the festival at the Aquarium Theatre, we're having Owen Steele, the Olympic Symphonium, and Hot Toddy come together to put on a show there. So that's the big kind of marquee event of the weekend. And then we're doing a second bigger show at the Algonquin on the Friday night featuring the full band of the Hypochondriacs. We've had them in town a couple of times over the last few months, not as the full band. So this will be a rockin' show with horns and guitar, drums, all of that at the Shaughnessy Room in the hotel. And then traditional locations downtown here, we'll see a range of singer-songwriters.
For tickets to shows, visit winterwarmerfestival.ca. That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, follow us on Facebook at CHCO.TV.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO TV, New Brunswick's only source for independent community television.